Greetings everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Serious Curious Adventures in Bevo Tech Pack. I have some plans for today, but before we do anything, just grabbing some things we will need later. Just a quick update about a few things here. So, I changed this up a little bit. I actually got the powered light, inverted power light thingies installed. They are from End.io, and those are the guys that are actually require RF to work, but they brighten up the place a lot more. So they are, they're a little bit better than torches. They light up more. So I installed those two because we do have energy in here now. And you can also see this trim on the wall. This is actually, if you look at Violet at the top, this is a conduit facade. So this is not actually one of those lavatory blocks. The reason for that is if I pick up, I guess if I hold this block, no, that doesn't work. I need either a cable or I believe the wrench. Yeah, so if you hold the wrench or the cable, those blocks become invisible and you can actually see the cable behind. So those are the End.io blocks that can hide those cables in the wall, which is really cool. And they also work with the connected textures. I was using those blocks before, but they don't connect together. They connect like horizontal, but because those two are not the same, the textures don't connect. So I decided to use like a trim, in this case like a vent or something. I guess it kind of makes sense, like a cable shaft. And I moved it mostly all around the place here. I haven't continued here yet because I don't know what machines I want, but I think every room is going to be like this. I did the same thing over here, as you can see. Second room, this is going to be a room for some of the machines I have in the entrance there. So I just moved the cable all around, and this actually connects through down there. There's like a maintenance tunnel, it goes all the way back to the side over there. We can go down there real quick. But I also replaced the torches. Haha, look at those guys. If you stand still for a while, you can probably see it. You can see those particles. Those are charged quartz fixtures. They're really cool. Let's see, where are they? They do require a charged Certus quartz. But you get 2 out of them and 1 piece of iron. And they are sort of like torches. They light up stuff. You can put them on ceilings. You can put them on the floor. You can put them everywhere. And they look really cool. They make those little sparky effects. Especially if you have so many, you see that particle effect quite often. But it's not, it's not like all the time. So it's not too annoying. I added more of those flowers just around here. I'm not sure about the placement. I tried to put them on different like levels and also further back, further to the front, and just have them a little bit more random. This guy is way too close. Actually, I have to move this back. Yeah, but I don't know, I think overall it's nice. It just feels, I don't know if I need, like, this one feels good to me because it has like a symmetry to it. This one over here, for example, feels a little bit out of place, especially this one, but I don't know, we'll see. I'll leave them for now. Maybe I'll change it up later. But I also finished up the walls. I added some stairs here just all around. Still need to do the ceiling. Not sure how exactly. I don't want to make a dome, but, well, maybe. Nah, domes are difficult. I did that before, and I don't have a circular room, so that could be difficult. I think I might move them up a little bit, like how I have it here, maybe to up here, and then just connect everything, and then have like a I don't know, like a symbol at the top or something. We'll see. But I also added a world anchor the other day. Those are from Raycraft. They're like a chunk loader. They load 3x3 chunks around this spot. But they do require ender pearls to function. Each ender pearl adds 12 hours to this. Today we actually got a new version of the Modpack though, 10.5. And in that one, we actually get the chicken chunk loader, which is this guy. It just requires a crafting enchanted table and some gold and ender pearl. And they last the whole time. Unless they changed it in this version, which I don't think so. But they usually last the whole time. And you can decide how many chunks you want to have loaded in that one, which is kind of cool. So I might, well, I'm most definitely going to replace this. With that one. So that update also added a few other things. For example, we have those, what are they called? They're those doors now, Melissa's doors. We have like You can make a garage door, like a Japanese shoji door. There's some really cool ones. There are you can make custom ones too, like all of different designs. There's some factory ones. There are like those laboratory ones, or like supermarket doors that open when you get closer to it. Like it's like a sensor or something. I don't know. Let's see. Can we do this? The problem with this update is that how did I write this? That the NEI doesn't work that well anymore. Before you could just type in like Malicious, for example, and it would show you everything that would belong to that mod. But now you have to do this add mod dot and then the full name, which is kind of annoying, but oh well. Yeah, player sensor, that's the thing. I wonder if we can use this for other things too, like just enabling machines. I'm sure it just emits the redstone signal as soon as a player gets nearby. We're gonna have to try that. Might be awesome. But yeah, so I did that. Let's go. I added a second elevator. It just goes down. And this is going to be my maintenance tunnel. I never have maintenance tunnels, and I always have trouble accessing my cable. So this just goes all around here, and you can see all the cables from here. And then same to the other side. I'm going to remove all the blocks in between too, and dress this up a little bit with some stone brick or something, or just cobblestone. Using chisel, we can pick some nicer looking blocks than or nicer looking cobblestone than just a regular one. Like if you look at this, do we have any on me? Nope. Let's grab a piece real quick. Like just regular cobblestone, there's some really cool ones. Some that look like stone brick, or even just like the flat one here, the very simple one. It looks kind of cool. So we can dress this place up too. But yeah, it's slowly getting there. Soon I can move some of my machines there. Let's also go upstairs real quick. Ah! Every time I need to do something about that. Ah, it's annoying. I went to the desert and I got some modest bees. Anything sneaking up on me? No. Ooh, lag. They actually required more heat. Otherwise they wouldn't work, and they need the cactus. So I actually made a heater upgrade, and that seems to be enough for those bees. It's nighttime now, so the solar panel doesn't emit enough energy. I can actually grab those now too. This ender core doesn't feel like it's doing much more than the endstone for some reason. It might be bugged, I'm not sure. Tree farm is going awesome. But yeah, lots of little changes, nothing huge. I might have to just skip a day for a video or something and just make more progress. But today we're gonna do something different, and it's already almost 10 minutes over. But I've been working on, on this over here. So this is the inscriber that you use to make those applied energistic things, and I'm gonna bring this up just in case we need it. So you need to write energistics too, and it has to be very precise. Yeah, you make those, those processors and everything out of it. And the problem with that was that it's really slow to do. You always have to do one at a time and then wait for it and so on, right? There's a slime somewhere. Well, I automated it, at least some of it, not every recipe yet. But you can see I made quite a few of those silicone things. And the way it works now, if I grab some, let's just do two just to demonstrate it. All you have to do is, as soon as this chest has some in there, it picks one out, picks the recipe, puts them in here, like the print, prints it, pulls them out again, and then checks again, and does the same until it can't do it anymore. And that is possible using the Steve's Factory Manager. And oh my god, that's a little complicated. It's not that bad. This is from the same guy who made the Steve's workshop, the block we looked at the last time. But this block is quite powerful, a lot more powerful than the workbench is, but it also a little bit more complicated. It is kind of a visual programming language, so it can do similar things to like maybe computer craft, maybe not quite as complex, but it's represented in those visual things here. This is very common in like engines or programs that use visual programming languages. They have those things. It's just like a flowchart. This slime is driving me nuts, but I don't know where it is. Could be anywhere. You know what? Just for now. Whoop. There we go. So I kind of want to explain how this works, and I'm usually terrible at explaining, but I'll try my best, and I still need to add more. So right now you can sort of see that I have something here for silicon, something for gold, and something for logic processors. Silicon are those guys, the golden ones are these, printed logic circuit, and logic processors are those, which is the silicon and the circuit combined. So I think as an example, we're going to work on the diamond one, just to show you roughly how this works. So for the diamond one, we need the engineering press and the diamond. All right, so the way this works, and I'm going to go through quickly. The very first thing is the trigger. This determines when this whole process gets triggered. You can have it on an interval, which is right now on 1 second. So every second it just checks if this should run or not. You can do it via redstone, so you can have like a lever or button and it will do it, or you can have like a block update detector. You know, if like, I don't know, something grows or something gets placed, then trigger it. But for this example, we have it on interval, which is good enough. So the first thing I do is I have a condition, and a condition can either output true or false, right? So if we expand this, what we see in here are 3 different categories. So this condition needs a inventory. In this case, this green thing is selected, which is the inscriber. It doesn't have an icon for it because I guess it maybe only uses vanilla blocks, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, this is the inscriber. You can see it at the top, it says the name, it says selected, and it shows you where exactly that block is. So we have that selected. So we want to check this inventory. Okay. The target is which, I believe this is which slot in the inventory you want to check. So if you look at this, we have like, you know, the upper slot, we have like a right slot, bottom slot, stuff like that. Normally, like for example, with a furnace, if you wanted to put in the item to smelt, you would put it in from the top, and the fuel you would have to pump in from the bottom. And this is sort of what this represents, those directions. So we want the top one, everything you would pump in from the top, everything you pump in from the bottom, and east is, in this case, the output. You would pull it out from there, all right? So I'm checking those 3 slots. And then I check for the item. So in this whole condition, what it does is it checks the inscriber, checks each slot, and checks if any of those items are in those slots, okay? I don't actually have to do this east and down. I think up would be enough. But I just like have some extra, you know, just some extra checks, just in case there's something wrong or whatever. I had a problem before where one of those presses got put in at the bottom because some of my other logic wasn't working properly. And, you know, if this ever happens, at least this would count for it too. Right. So it means if any of those items are in any of those specified slots in this inventory, it will send out a true signal. Okay. I'm not actually listening to the true signal in here because if something is in here, I don't want to do anything with it because that means it's currently in use. If it's in use, I don't need to do anything with it. So true doesn't go anywhere. So we just use the false state. Okay. So if it is false, which means if no item is in that machine, it goes to another condition, and I renamed this condition silicon, okay? But it's still a condition. You can see it by, it has an input and then a true or false. And on the side, you see those things like if you want to create a new condition, you just click here, create condition, and it creates one of those new things. You can move them around, all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. Like it looks a little bit complicated, but it really isn't if you spend some time with it. And it's so powerful to automate things with. But anyway, so the first thing I do is check if we can make one of those silicon presses. Okay. So this condition again, it checks the chest. We want to know if we actually have silicon in there. All right. Target east right now. For the chest, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't have multiple inputs. It only has one. I just choose east because it's next to the machine on this side. So it just checks the chest and it checks if All of these things are there, requires all. It requires a inscriber silicon press and it requires a silicon. If you right click those things, you can actually specify if you want, exactly one of it. You can do some other things here, but in this case, I just check if I have exactly one of this press thing, which I probably don't have to check, but sometimes I had problems not doing it. And if I have any silicon, do something. All right, did I screw this up? No, okay. So again, if this chest has has all of these things, a inscriber silicon press and a silicone, I'll put true, which means it goes over here. This other stuff gets ignored because it's under false, so ignore this for now. So we go to true. Also silicon, but this is not a condition. This is actually a group of different commands. I don't have to do that. I can just do all the logic on this board too, but it will get messy with all those little different things. So I grouped all the logic for processing silicon into this little box. So you can just double click on this or click once on this and you go into that group. So this is what the group looks like. If this gets triggered, that top thing is the trigger in this case, it goes into the input thing. All right, so input gets triggered if we have silicon and a press. Input, what it does is it picks an item. Okay, so it checks the chest, it picks the item from the chest. Again, target doesn't really matter. And it picks exactly whitelist, so only those items, specified amount, one inscriber silicon press, and exactly one silicon. Okay, it grabs those two items and it outputs them into this guy, which is a output call, which means you put whatever you get into something. In this case, we output into the inscriber at the top, bottom, and east. East probably doesn't matter again. I think most of those might not matter, just in case I specified them. And just anything. So there's nothing on the blacklist, which means anything this output thing gets from the input, it will try to put it into the inscriber. And that's really it. So that's really all it does. As soon as it sees, oh, we have silicon and a press in there, put it into the inscriber. That's what's going on here. If we don't have any silicon, it does the same thing for gold. It checks if the chest has the inscriber logic press and a gold ingot, exactly one. If it does, do the same thing. It's a group again. Grab the stuff from the chest, exactly one inscriber logic, one gold, and output it into the inscriber. All right, that's how you get the gold presses. So it's the same thing. And again, if we don't have any gold in there, check the same thing for those three items, which is how you make the logic processes. If we have a printed logic circuit and we have a silicon and we have redstone, do the same thing. I'll put it into the machine. Grab it from the chest and I'll put it into the inscriber. And that's how it does that. So if I would put in a gold piece right now, it pulls it out. Because first it checks, do we have silicon? No. Do we have gold? Yes. Process the gold. Do we have gold? No. But we have a logic board, we have a silicon, and we have a redstone. So process that. And there it is. And it's done. And that's how that works. So if you look at the applied energistics, there are still a few more. There is the engineering processor, which requires a diamond instead of gold. So we need to add this recipe to it. And there's also the Certus quartz one, I believe. If I could find it, might be on the next page. No, oh, there it is. So the calculation processor requires a pure Certus quartz. So two more recipes I need. Well, technically a couple more. 2 pair thing. We need to create this thing. And then we need to create this thing. And we also need to create this and this. And I believe that should be all the pieces we have in here. I don't see any other ones. But if we do, I'm going to add those as well. But yeah, so, that's what I have to add. And And I guess we can do this on camera real quick. So only one at least, because otherwise it takes long. So we're gonna do the diamond one, okay? So we need the inscriber engineering press, which is already in the chest. This one, but we need to know the name so we can set this up. And we need the diamond, okay? So again, after this is all done, we add a new condition, and I'm sure there are ways to do this better, but this is how I decided to do it. Also, this stuff on the right side, by the way, this is just for pulling out the finished product. So what this guy does is it checks the inscriber if any of the finished products is in there, if any, create an input, which means just whatever is in the inscriber, pull it out and put it into the chest. So this is just this thing that checks, oh, are you done? Okay, pull all the items back onto the chest so you can do the next thing. But we will do this, what is it called again? Let's name this engineering. Oh, we can, yeah, let's call it, let's just call it diamond. It makes it easier, okay? All right, so this is the diamond condition. And this is the same thing we do here. So we check the chest. Let's actually move this up a bit so we can see this better. Target, I'm just gonna do east. It requires you to choose a target. That's why I always use east, just because it's on the east side. It doesn't really matter, I think. And okay, it requires the engineering. Always takes a while to type this in. There's so many items in this game. It slows down, and it needs a diamond. Come on, find the diamond. We could also specify, like, let's see, because there is industrial diamond, right? Like those, they work too. I'm not sure if you can change this here, because you can set it to match all. It's possible that mod detection, that might work too. I don't know. Let's do, yeah, you can do, let's try mod detection. Maybe the industrial diamond will work with that too, but we don't really need this for now. We don't have any. All right, again, if we have both of these items, requires all, move it down here. We will create a new group, which is the same thing as this. Call it diamond. All right. And open a group. And we put all the logic in here. So the first thing is the node, which gets triggered when the group gets called. And you can set this to input or output. What it does is, if right now, well, actually, let me go back and this is going to be a long episode, I already know. If you look at the group now, there's no input. Like, we can't actually connect this to anything here. That's why we add the node. All the node does is add a input node or an output node, whatever you want. But in this case, we want an input. So now if we go back, we actually have the little dot at the top. That's all it does. All right, then we want, let me actually double check the other ones. Input and output, yeah, okay. It's that simple. Again, I'm sure there's a way to do this better than the way I do it, but I think it's working. So we want grab it from the chest, east side, and we want to only grab the engineering. There you are, and the diamond. After a few seconds. And make sure it's only one, so we don't grab like a ton. Sometimes that causes problems. Whitelist, so only those items are allowed. And we output it into the inscriber. And again, I'm gonna mark those all. I don't think I need the east one, but up and down might be useful or necessary. And blacklist, which means whatever you get, put it in. So we connect those so they can process, and that's it. I only have to connect those now, so let's line this a little bit better. So if this is true, do it. All right, so now it goes, do we have silicon? Nope. Do we have gold? Nope. Do we have logic processors? Nope. Do we have diamonds? Do it. If not, just don't do anything. So let's give it a try. Hopefully this works. Let's put in one. Pulling it out. Looking good. Now it won't pull it out. You know, now it's stuck. That's what this thing is over here. So now all we have to do is add the engineering press to it. And it should work again, because it's like, oh yeah, we have this in there. Pull it out. Ta-da! So drop in more diamonds, and now it should do the thing automatically. And then the next step would be, you know, combine those with silicone and redstone again, and so on. Very cool. I wonder if I can change the silicone one a little bit, where I can say, no, but then I would need multiple requirements or conditions, because it would be like, if you have silicone and redstone and gold or diamond or Certus Quad logic boards, do that. But I think in this case I'll just keep it simple, and I create an extra one for each. Just keeps it simple. But yeah, there we go. We all have now our 4 thingies. Awesome. Hopefully that wasn't too complicated. I know I'm not terribly good at explaining those things. But yeah, this block is very powerful, and besides that, like, let's look at this real quick. Let's grab another one. What is it called? Inventory. I actually want to use this to automate making the living wood and rock. But we'll do that later. So let's sure, let's do this. I'll just give you a quick example if that one was too complicated, because this thing also can autocraft, similar to the workshop. The only difference is that it can't auto smelt in the block itself, but you can hook it up to a furnace and then it can do that too. So let's say we want to move those birchwood logs and turn them into planks and output them into this chest, okay? So first of all, again, we need a trigger. We will, for testing this, just leave it on interval. So in this case, every second it checks, it does it. I'm not going to connect this right away so it doesn't try to do stuff. Then what you want to do is specify what you actually want to grab. Now you see those 2 chests. It's a little bit confusing, but if you hold shift, you can actually see on which side they're connected. So at the bottom you see this chest. On the left side has the inventory manager, so that means it's the right chest, right? So we want this chest, target, we choose east because it points to the inventory block, and we want only, no, you know what? Yeah, let's use log, I guess. And I wonder if we, well, what is it called, birch? I wonder if we can just choose, let's see, where's birch there? And we just say any amount, but we can probably do mod detection or dictionary. Some of those things will probably pull in any type of wood. Alright, anyway, we only want those, and we want to output it later, but first we want to put it into, oh god, the server's restarting. Create auto crafting. So we want to actually craft stuff. And now you can say block, no, sorry, birch. Let's see if we can do this against the server time. Alright, turns it into 4 planks. Priority, craft before moving or move before crafting, doesn't really matter right now. And excesses, if it can't output it, put it back onto the starting chest. Okay, I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Silly server restarting, I always record so late. But yeah, again, so put in the birchwood, it crafts this, it shows you what it crafts. You can obviously set up other recipes. And then whatever it crafts, we want to output into the other chest. Let's actually move this up. Again, hold shift, you can see it. Move it into this chest. I'll choose west side, again, just because it connects to the inventory block, but I don't think it's important. And blacklist, which means no items on the blacklist means every item is okay. Alright? And that should be it. So connect it. So what it does, again, it grabs the logs, it outputs them into the crafter. The crafter crafts them into planks and outputs them into the chest. So let's see if that works. Oh, you know what? For some reason the blocks are the wrong way around. The one on the left side is actually this. That is strange. Maybe it's like, The JSON block thing doesn't work. Okay, let's sorry about that. So let's just switch around. So this is our input chest instead. Yeah. And then that also means our output chest is the other one. Alright, let's connect. That should work now. Yes! Bam! Done! And it's really fast too. It does it like almost instantly. Very cool. Yeah, this is all you have to do really. And then of course you could set up another one where it crafts chests out of it or whatever. And now I'm curious if we just use, let's say, what wood do we have? Sure, let's use this one. Would that work? No, because it's right now it's set to precision. Precision. I wonder if we do mod or match all. Nope. I'm sure there's a way to specify any type of lock. Let's see, or dictionary support might be it. It does pull it out. Nope. Who knows? I'm sure there's a way to do it. It's possible also that, let's see, can you, oh, you can right click here too. Let's do or dictions. The crafting part didn't know what to do with it. Nope. I'm determined. I'm sure there's a way to do this. Right click. Let's do match all again. Oh well, I'm sure that works somehow. But yeah, that's how you do it. That's a simple setup. Hopefully it wasn't too complicated. I tried to make it a little bit simpler with this example. But there are a lot of different things you can do with this mod. There are some other blocks that let you place blocks and interact different ways. That should make automating systems really easy. And I'm sure I'm going to use this for quite a few things here and there. Especially for the machines and stuff. You could use the cables, but you can also use that and have the logic in there right away. Okay guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope it wasn't too complicated again. And hopefully next time, where is my, there, 5. Next time I'll have more progress done on the base. And we can do some other fancy things. Hopefully some of the machines will be processing things by then. I'm actually really low on resources, so I have to go mining. I have like 10 gold left or something. Alright, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye bye!